Hey everybody, we are just gonna get started. I am gonna go ahead and we're gonna pass the computer around to a few different people to share their stories. But before I do that, I need to send this link out. So stand by 1 second. Yes. I don't know. I never totally streaming right now, but I never do this. But maybe if you guys want to do like a Facebook Live, since we're just sharing stories too, like on our page, and I can tag you guys. I mean, we don't have to. I just want to. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me make sure if someone can click to confirm that this works. I just posted it now. Okay. Okay, if you want to check, if you guys want to check and see, I just posted in the comments. We'll make sure that it's actually working. Okay, perfect. It's hard. Okay, where? I see you. Sorry, everybody, bear with me. I'm trying to find. Here we go. Okay.
She has to be everywhere we are.
Okay, do you guys want? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to pass the computer. My name is Michelle Newman. I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne, and I'm really excited to switch things up a little bit tonight. We are each going to be sharing our stories and just a little about this awesome gift of Arbonne with you guys before we go into some recognition and then some exciting training. So excited to share this with y'all, and I will get this party started. All right, I'm going to pass. I guess I'll just pass my computer around. And sorry for everyone who's watching this right now on YouTube. Do you want me to do a Facebook Live with it? And we can, since we're just sharing our stories, and then we can like tag you guys after. Okay.
Like in the Connect group?
I was gonna do it on
your page?
Yeah, and tag you guys. I think. Hey everybody. So I'm doing something fun tonight with some awesome leaders in Arbonne. Switching it up a little bit tonight, and we are going to do a Facebook Live event. In addition to, the girls are like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? In addition to, hey Katie, I won't bring you on camera because that'll be confusing, but you can add yourself to the video. So Facebook Live in addition to YouTube, which is really exciting and kind of crazy. So if you're tuning in, this will probably go on for just 15 minutes. Hey Jen, I just got your text as I was starting my meeting. So if you want to tune in, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rock stars in Arbonne who are area managers or regional vice presidents. We're going to be sharing our story and a little bit about this amazing opportunity called Arbonne. So I'm going to pass it along. If you guys are wondering why I don't have a voice, probably because I was driving all night last night. Hey, girls. So Katie and Denise, I see that you guys, I'm just trying to see, can you share it? I can add you to the camera, but that won't make sense. So, okay, perfect. Awesome. So you guys can share on your timelines. Okay, so we're going to get this party started. So this is, like I said, I normally don't do this on my main Facebook page. This is something different, something fun. So bear with us as we get going. We are here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for all of you guys who are tuning in. And I'm going to start off over here. They're like, who's going to be first? Denise, you want to go first? We can start. So we'll pass it around this way. Okay. So again, just having some fun, sharing a little bit about Arbonne and our stories. So I'm going to let Jenny go ahead and take it over.
Hey guys.
All right, so I'm going to just get started here. I'm going to share with you guys, and also we have some people around the table. So my name is Jenny Pauling. I'm a regional vice president and independent consultant with Arbonne, and I'm just going to share my quick 2-minute story of how I found Arbonne, and thanks for listening. So a few years ago, about 3 years ago, I was really searching for health and wellness. I had 3 little bitty babies at the time, and I found Arbonne through our nanny, which that irony is not lost on me that my nanny had to introduce me to Arbonne. But so I became obsessed with the products. I lost 40 pounds over the course of 3 months. I have PCOS, so it was very difficult for me in the past to do that. And so it was amazing to find a program that worked, products that worked for me. I was still that's good. I was still a hard no for the business opportunity in Arbonne, okay? And I was a hard no for quite a long time. The business opportunity was offered to me over and over, but I was a vice president for one of the largest asset management companies in the country. And with that, I had quite an income that I thought there was no way protein powder and lipstick could replace. But I was wrong, you guys. And so it took me some time. It took me actually getting on airplanes every single week for years and leaving my 3 little babies behind every single week to realize, to reach a point where I didn't want to do that anymore. And my turning point was that I had been out of town for an entire week. I got home and my husband was holding my little baby girl in the kitchen like this, and she was crying, and I took her and she came to me and put her head on my shoulder and went right to sleep. And it was really at that point that I thought, okay, you don't actually have to miss soccer games and Christmas preschool shows. You actually can have time freedom and financial freedom. It's not a trade-off always, right? And so I got to work. And about 2 years ago, this past July, I was able to resign from the job that was taking me away from my family and from my kiddos. Yay! And just last week, we celebrated at my Ben's Bash. A lot of you guys were there, and so thank you for coming. And it was absolutely a blessing. Arbonne has been so great for me, for my family, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to overcome those fears and those hesitations of that this can't be for me, because it is, and it's for all of us. So I'm going to pass it along here.
Hey, everyone. Okay. Well, welcome. If there's guests out there, welcome to our Discover Arbonne here in the Charlotte area. I'm Colleen Hill, and I'm an executive regional vice president with the company. I've been with Arbonne for the past 14 years. And before Arbonne, I had a 14-year career in medicine. I woke up in 2004 and realized I had no retirement. Not a fun thing. And I realized I had to do something different, or my daughter was going to have to take care of me. And getting another day job, and there's nothing wrong with a day job, but I knew that getting another day job was just not the answer to my situation. I understood this industry. I understood the power of this industry. I ended up reading the book, and I actually brought it tonight. I read this book that taught me how to put my retirement in place in 4 years. I ended up doing it in a little less than 5, and just hit the ground running. And I was in Raleigh, and within 11 months, I replaced. Well, in the first year, I replaced my income from my medicine career, because I was in medicine helping doctors build their practices, and I earned our car, which it wasn't really about the car, but in the 13 and a half years that I've had a car with Arbonne, I haven't had to make a car payment or car insurance payment. So for a struggling single parent, which is what I was, I had a daughter in college, that's a huge savings. And I earned a trip that first year to Hawaii and ended up building a $1 million home-based business in about 2 years that went global from my little apartment in Raleigh. So I always say it was the smartest business decision and health decision that I could have ever made. That's my story.
That's awesome.
Woo! And I'll pass it this way. There you go.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Katie Enriquez. I'm the area manager, independent consultant, and I love how we're doing this tonight, just passing it around and sharing our stories, because we all have a different story, and I love hearing other people's stories, because it really, we all have a different one, and if you don't relate to any one of us that's on here, then maybe you need to be creating your own story with us as well. So I am, let me just start over. My brain is everywhere tonight. So when I started Arbonne about 2 years ago, I went to a healthy happy hour with no intention of buying anything or starting a business. I just wanted a girls' night out because I was working 4 jobs at the time as an occupational therapist. And while I loved what I did, I realized that I was getting really burnt out, and I was trading time for money, and I was losing time with my husband. I was losing time with my family, and while I had a great income, I was like, I knew that there was more to life. I knew deep down that I became an OT to really help people and not be locked down to paperwork at the end of the days. And it just became less of a service for me and less of a dream of becoming an OT. It was more paperwork, and just, you guys know how awful the healthcare industry is right now. And I knew that if I could use my skills as an OT to serve people access to healthcare, that would be more meaningful to me and more valuable to me. And so when I heard the opportunity, I shot it down really quick because I didn't see the vision for myself. But once I got the skincare and met up again with my sponsor, because the skincare just changed my skin within about 24 hours, she talked a little bit more about her dreams about serving kids in Africa. And I was like, no way, I want to, help kids. And so sometimes you have to relate to other people's stories. And maybe it's not the person that first introduces you. Maybe you have to listen to other people's stories, but know that anyone can do Arbonne. There's a place for you here. So I went district manager, and Michelle will share a little bit about what that means at the end, within about 2 months. And that was huge for me, because once I decided to jump in, and I found the fit for me, I was like, okay, if I can quit some of these extra jobs, that would be great, and just replace some of that income with Arbonne. And I did within 2 months. And then within about 5 months, I went area. And at that point, that same month, I got laid off from my one job that I was full-time at. And it hit me really hard. But I think of the 16 therapists that got laid off from that company, I was the person that took it the best, because I knew that I had Arbonne in my life already, and I had begun creating that before impact hit. And so I always encourage people to start this before you need it, and start before you even see that it's a fit for you. Just start, because you never know when life is going to hit you. And it's really not a matter of if, it's when, whether it's a medical need or a job layoff, or maybe it's a good impact and you have a baby like I do now. I'm just so thankful to have Arbonne in my life for so many reasons. So now our team is growing so much, and I was very happy and settled at area for a while, because I was able to work part-time with kids now for the last year and a half. I've been able to work just very part-time with an outpatient clinic, and also with the schools in Lancaster County, which is something I wouldn't have been able to do without Arbonne, because I do believe that I had an incredible income working with a different population. And so long story short, I'm very happy that Arbonne has given me the choice. But now I know we're going region, because it just means that I'll fully replace my income and get to continue being present with my baby now. And my why has continued to evolve, and it will continue to change and grow. But it's amazing to see now the people that have joined this business are, just encouraging everybody else. And it doesn't matter if you're on each other's team or not. It's a very inspirational community of a company that you won't regret being a part of. So thank you guys. Gist of my story.
Michelle has the hookup set up over here. A phone on the computer. So, hey guys, I'm Denise Maggio, and I am an area manager also. And I'm a mom, and I have a 2.5-year-old toddler and a newborn. So my mind is trying to focus right now. But that's the beauty of doing this business, and I love it. And so when I first heard about Arbonne, it was from my aunt. I was visiting her in California, and she knew where I was. I graduated college, and I really was just living to work. I was working 40 to 60 some hours a week, and driving a good hour one way and an hour back. And I was exhausted. I would work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. I wasn't able to go to a lot of family functions and do a lot of things, which broke my heart. I mean, we all just want to spend time with our parents, our family, and I mean, that's life. That's what matters. And so she had told me, she goes, Denise, I think you should really check out this business called Arbonne, and I think it might be your key out of retail, and to stop working your life away and be able to start a family and stuff. And that hit me hard, and I thought about it, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I don't even talk to people anymore because all I do is work, eat, and sleep. And so I was like, you know, all these reasons why not kept coming in my head, like, you don't know enough people, you don't have the time, you don't have this, you don't have that. But you know what? Something inside of me just kept saying, like, what if it worked for me? What if I was able to walk away from a full-time job and have a full-time pay, working part-time, being my own boss, working when I want, where I want, and with who I want, which I love working with all these ladies. I mean, if you're in corporate America or you know people who are working, I'm sure you might not like somebody that you work with because they're very demanding, and corporate America is just not, it's not a beautiful sight. And, you know, so basically I jumped in and I said yes. I didn't really try all the products, but I believed in them because I'm a business focused person. And so I saw the plan. I tried a few of the products. I fell in love. Michelle will talk more about the products and stuff, but basically my dreams and your dreams and everybody's dreams are so much, there's so much weight to them. They're gold, guys. A dream can become a goal, can become your reality, which is what's happened to all of us. And I just can't thank Arbonne enough for being a company that we can join. So, my mind's kind of mush. I apologize. But, yeah, and so because I said yes, I was able to, of course, leave my job and stay at home and work for myself. And now we're going to be going on a 5-star trip to Jamaica. I think all of us have earned it. And taking my whole family, and my husband, you know, normally the breadwinner in the family. And it was just really nice because I was able to say, hey, babe, I'm able to take you and our babies on this all-inclusive 6-day, 5-night resort in this gorgeous place. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for Arbonne. It's changed my life. And honestly, if you really are thinking about doing this, or you're not, and now you are, like, it's a no-brainer, you guys. A no-brainer. It's the startup rate to have your own franchise, $49 with your first order. I mean, hello. Or if you're already a preferred client, I think it's what, $20. So, anyways, a total no-brainer. Your dreams are worth it. Stop listening to your fears and enjoy the presentation that Michelle's about to do. So, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Okay, coming around. All right, so we just went around the table a little bit, but I'm seated. I'm going to share just a little bit about my journey and a couple key nuts and bolts right now about the business opportunity. Because if you're like me, it's funny. On the YouTube, you can't see that I have clothes on. Let me pull this up a little bit. You know, like sometimes the towel picture, you're like, yeah, I just realized. So, sorry, everybody. Now I am fully clothed. I'm in a dress. All right. Focus, Michelle. Let's talk about focus. My kids are 6 and 4, and I still have that mommy mush brain going on. So just a little bit about me. My name is Michelle Newman. I am a regional vice president at Arbonne, most importantly, independent consultant. And honestly, for me, if you would have told me I'd be sharing with you in health and wellness or social marketing, I really would have laughed in your face because I had no interest in this industry whatsoever. I'm actually a speech language pathologist and a behaviorist by trade. My specialty is non-vocal children with autism. I find that very gratifying, very rewarding. However, I was also finding it very exhausting. And there is a huge burnout rate in that field. So for me, you know, the only reason I even went to my first Arbonne get together, which was my dear friend's business launch, was because my mother-in-law bribed me and she told me that she'd buy me something if I went. So I went kicking and screaming, but I was asked 2 questions, and I always ask these questions. The first question is, where will you be in 5 years if you continue to do exactly what you're doing today and you change nothing? You know, especially time-wise and financially. And to be honest, I mean, my husband and I had a great income. You know, I was a supervisor of the speech department at a university. I loved what I did, but we were time poor. Hey, love. But we were time poor. So what we were doing, again, talking again about trading time for money. And I had just gotten a video 2 weeks prior of my daughter taking her first steps from my mother-in-law, who I was blessed that she was able to watch my daughter for me at the time. But at the same time, like, I wanted to be the one to see that. I wanted to be the one experiencing all of those first. And I wasn't. And I was like, wow, in 5 years, if I don't change anything, I don't see anything changing. And I know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. And so for me, I decided, I was like, you know what, like, I don't know how this is going to play out. But I was like, I'm going to do this. So I called my husband on the way home, which is my first mistake. And a lot of you guys on here know my husband. Love him dearly, but he definitely was a realist or pessimist. And he said, you know what? He's like, it's a pyramid scheme. Nobody gets the Mercedes, which PS is parked right here in the parking lot, but nobody gets the Benz. And it's a pyramid scheme. And the one thing that he said that really scared me the most is, how do you possibly see yourself fitting this in? How can you take on one more thing? And if you're here and you're watching as a guest, or you're here live as a guest, you know, there's naturally a lot of hesitations and fears. And that was one of mine, and he fed into it. So the fear kept me from taking that leap of faith, and I was a big fat no. I was a no. I said, I don't even want to hear about the business anymore. I'm not doing it. And that persisted for a while. So a year and a half, almost 2 years later, not 5 years, but a few years later, right? I had relocated to the Carolinas, so that had changed. I got pregnant, found out I was pregnant 2 weeks after I moved, so that was a big change, right? But I was still working in the schools as a speech pathologist. My husband was still working long hours, and we were right where we were in a brand new state with a brand new baby, right? A few years later. So my friend called me when I was on maternity leave with my son, and I said, how's Arbonne going? And she's like, well, I'm earning my Mercedes. I'm making a very generous income. I'm retiring early from teaching. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that could have been me. That would have been me if I would have jumped in when she did. I was at her launch. So I encourage you guys, there are going to be, like the ladies were talking about before me, like, there are going to be some hesitations. There are going to be some fears. But at the end of the day, my biggest regret was not taking that leap of faith when my gut told me to. And at that moment, when I found her success and I heard the passion, the happiness, the excitement, the eagerness to share in her voice, I knew that I was going to do this business, and that I wasn't just going to do it, but that I was going to grow what's going to be a multi-million-dollar business in this company. And not because of the income, but because of the lives that we are changing. Because you heard each and every one of these powerhouses' stories. And the reality of it is, Arbonne is the vehicle for your dreams, right? So it may be different for each and every one of us. And I don't know what that looks like for you if you're watching the video, if you're here as a guest. I don't know what that is for you. But Arbonne is a way to start dreaming again, to start hoping again. I love that we get to call ourselves hope dealers, right? Because that's what we do. And Arbonne is just a platform to live the life that you were designed to live, because we all have purpose, right? And if you're not living a life of purpose, then I guarantee you there is some emptiness going on. I know, I lived it. I was going through the motions. So I'm going to share a little bit about what the company has to offer. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because you heard a lot in our stories, but there are a few key things. If you don't know about Arbonne, our products are botanically based. They're pure, they are safe, and they are beneficial. I love that about this company. I was very much a label reader for what I was eating. You know, does this have the high fructose corn syrup, the dye number 5, right? But I was not paying attention for what I was putting in and on my body. And, you know, I know that we talked a little bit about that. Everything is botanically based. It all is all pure and safe, right? Gluten-free. And if you're watching this video, or if you are, you know, here as a guest and someone has not shared the product philosophy with you, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I will tell you that our commitment to pure, safe, and beneficial goes far beyond even the strictest global requirements. So the European Union bans 1,400 toxins and chemicals and products. Okay, Arbonne bans 2,000 today. 2,000. The U.S., there's less than a dozen banned. So 2,000 Arbonne, right? 1,400 European Union, the U.S., less than a dozen. I love the fact that we can believe in the almost 500 products that we have, right? We have a ton of products that are all held to this high standard. People are searching for this. You go on Facebook. I know some of you guys are even watching on Facebook, right? You go on Facebook and on your newsfeed, there's about roadkill and lipsticks and like, all of these genetically modified organisms. There's so much out there. People want to be informed consumers. All we do in Arbonne is we educate people on healthier choices. That's all. We share something that we believe in. And that is what I love about this, because we impact people's lives. The best product Arbonne has to offer, hands down, is the business, but our products make meaningful changes in people's lives every single day. Not that we cure anything, but I can name probably about 10 people who've come off of medications, whether it's reflux, diabetes meds, whatever it is, eczema creams, right? Again, not that we are medically based. However, the fact of the matter is that there's something to be said for what you're putting in and on your body. And we have that commitment. We are a vegan company. We are gluten-free, non-GMO. We're free of mineral oil, which is a carcinogen, a derivative of gasoline, right? It's in 95 to 98% of bath and beauty products. That is terrifying to me, that rubbing my kids in these #1 pediatrician, dermatologist recommended products that have these known carcinogens in them, and they have a different formulation for the babies in Europe. So are their babies any more precious than mine? Right? No. It's just because it's about making money and making a profit. So I love the fact that I can feel great about what I'm putting in and on my family's skin and what we're putting in our bodies. So again, we also, like I said, we are a vegan company, and that is true for our cosmetics as well. So I love the fact that we do not have any animal byproducts in our products. And if you don't know what animal rendering is, you can totally look it up. It's really gross. But basically, euthanized pets, roadkill, all of these things get put into this facility, and they take the sludge and they use that as a filler in bath and body and all of these products, right? And they label it natural ingredients. They can still call it cruelty-free because the animals are already dead, okay? But that is something that, unless it says vegan certified or free of animal byproducts, there's a high probability that that is what you are putting in and on your body. So again, the ingredient philosophy is unmatched. There is nothing like it. And the other thing that I want to talk about, one of the things my husband said was it's a pyramid scheme. Mind you, he was in corporate America, right? One CEO, VPs, middle management, people in the trenches. So I do love the fact that, all we do is we share something we believe in. What's the first thing you do if you read a good book, right? You tell somebody it's the same exact thing. So I love that. Hey, John. So that is something that I love. And basically, we take out the middleman. We just share something. We educate people on healthier choices, share something that we believe in. So I'm going to talk just 2 more seconds, because this is something that was really powerful to me when I was looking into the Arbonne opportunity, is the income levels, right? Because I was like, oh, that all sounds great. That's fine, well and good. But to be real, I mean, how much are you making with your little lipstick business? And that was my ignorance. But I like to share this with people because that's when I realized the impact that this could have on me and my family's life. So the first level promotion is district manager. Okay, as a district manager, you're making a couple hundred to about $1,000 a month on average. And that's part-time in the nooks and crannies of your busy life. You also get paid back on your products at that level, which is pretty cool. So even the first level promotion, which a lot of people do in a matter of a few weeks to a few months time, again, it's your own journey. I want to put that out there. You decide how quickly you move within this business. But I love the fact that even as a district manager, you can do that as quick as you want, right? And you're getting paid back on your products. So you're basically turning an expense into an income, and you're eligible for a $200 bonus each month as a district manager. So a couple hundred to $1,000, $1,500 a month. I mean, that could be your car payment. That could be your grocery bills, especially if you eat clean, right? So there's a lot of opportunity just at that first level promotion. The next level, and we only have 4, so I won't keep you long, I promise, guys. The next level is area manager. Area manager is where your business is willable, okay? So your business continues to work itself. You're leveraging your time with this opportunity, right? So you can will that to your family, which I think that's amazing to me, because no matter how many universities I was working at or how many schools, if I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. But your business continues to run itself through building a client base. It's all online, by the way. We don't do inventory. We don't deliver. Arbonne handles all of that back-end stuff for me. So yes, you can have a multi-million-dollar business that you can run from your cell phone, right? And you don't even have to see, not that you don't want to, but you don't have to see your clients who could be global throughout the world. But as an area manager, you're making about $1,500 to $4,000 a month on average. And I know for myself personally, and I know that a lot of you guys in here, we built a regional vice president while working full-time jobs with a lot on our plate, right? But again, you just fit it in the nooks and crannies. The only thing you're really changing in Arbonne is your conversations. You're hearing a need and you're filling a need. So, and at that level, you're eligible for a $400 bonus each month, in addition to the commissions. And then the next level promotion is regional vice president. So there are three of us, regional vice presidents here tonight, sharing. And as a regional vice president, you do get up to $800 a month cash bonus towards a Mercedes of your choice. And at that level, you're making about $5,000 to $10,000 a month on average. And you have the Benz. And you can also, in addition to that $800 cash Mercedes bonus, you're also eligible to earn a $600 bonus each month at that level. So, and I have friends who, some of you guys might even be on here. I think my MVP was on here a minute ago, but she did it in 6 months. She's a rock star, right? So for me, it took me 22 months. It doesn't matter. It could take you 5 years. My ENVP, I know it took her that long because we all have our own journey. So it really is something that you decide what you get out of it, and you decide how quickly you grow through the motion. The top level of the company is national vice president. As a national vice president, you're making about $22,000 a month on average. And to me, I just look at, wow, like all of the lives. Like I love how Katie talks in her story about serving, people who don't have the ability to have medical needs. Like, what can you do? What impact can you make on the world with $22,000 a month on average, right? Because this business is so much bigger than you. This business is not about you. And I guarantee you that the people who are at this table, who are at, the higher levels within Arbonne have learned very quickly, because you will not grow in this business if you don't realize we are serving others. We just have an amazing opportunity to be able to do that in Arbonne. So I think about that, and my goal at the top level of the company, going back to my story, is to be able to open a nonprofit for individuals with autism and their families, and to be able to do sibling support groups, parent training, daycare provider training, and do it for free. Because I have a calling, I know I do, in that area, but I don't want to do it for a paycheck. I don't want to leave my babies at home so I can take care of someone else's. I want to be present as a parent, but I also want to serve the community in other ways. So through Arbonne, I know that this is a vehicle that's going to allow me to do that. And because of Arbonne, that second question I was asked, I told you the first. The second was, are you prepared for impact if, God forbid, something happened to your primary source of income? And Katie shared. Katie prepared, right? Thank goodness when all those occupational therapists got laid off, she had already started her Arbonne business. So she was confident in what she had built beforehand, because impact will hit you, and we don't know the form that's going to be. For us, it was a year after I started my Arbonne business. It was 2 days before we were going on the Oasis of the Seas. Arbonne has incredible incentive trips that they offer us. And my husband lost his job. His whole team got let go. Totally unexpected, right? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Guys, it wasn't long before our savings depleted and Arbonne was paying our mortgage. Arbonne was keeping my kids in their preschool and in gymnastics. Arbonne was putting food on our table. And I tell you guys this because it's so much more. You do want to prepare for impact before it hits you, and you don't know the form that it's going to be. And also, you want to pack that parachute for people, because you don't know when they're going to need to pull the string either. But if you offer this opportunity to people, you don't know people who are living in quiet desperation. So this, if you're watching tonight, if you're here tonight as a guest, this may or may not be for you, but I guarantee you, you can think of 50 million reasons why this won't work for you. But I want you to ask yourself, what if it does, right? What if you let go of the fear, that fear that's holding you back? And what if you take a leap of faith? What if you start dreaming again? Whose life can you change through this business opportunity and these pure and safe products? Because again, it's so much bigger. And what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So I encourage you guys right now, especially if you're watching this and it's August, you might be watching a video later, but August, we have the best deals that we've ever had, I think, that I know of anyway, in Arbonne, because it's only $49 to sign up as a consultant if you order one of our sets. And if you're a preferred client already, it's only $20 to upgrade. So we're talking what could be, and that's your decision, a multi-million-dollar business opportunity for less than you would pay for an Amazon Prime membership, right? I mean, think about that. That's an incredible opportunity. And I know because of Arbonne, I was able to walk away from my career as a speech language pathologist and be that present parent, be my daughter's classroom mom. Because of Arbonne, we've been on, now it will be 4 all-inclusive trips, compliments of Arbonne. And on top of that, 2 of those trips were while my husband was unemployed. So I look at that and I'm like, wow, what a blessing this is for my family. Because of Arbonne, I'm sitting around in this room of incredible friends and leaders who have taught me to grow in so many ways and constantly growing. Because of Arbonne, gosh, my kids, their drive, their ambition, their tenacity. Like, I just look at the leaders that I'm creating, these little leaders, and think of the potential that it's going to be for them. Arbonne is such a blessing. And because of Arbonne, you know, I know that we have huge things coming, not just for me and my family, but for all of you guys who do take the leap of faith. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're here on Facebook Live, and ladies, I'm going to say goodbye. These are some of the people you heard from. But I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you dream big. We call it Arbonne Insomnia when you're super excited and you're thinking about this. And I just pray that whoever it is who's watching, if something's tugging at your heartstrings, that you reach out to the consultant who invited you to check out this video. So bye, everybody. Happy Monday night. Bye. Like, sorry, I'm still on travel time. Okay. Done. Boom. Share. Oh, we had a lot of people come on. Okay, and then we still have the YouTube. So do we have people tuning in for recognition and training, or should I stop the YouTube link? Just guess, right? Okay, so sorry, guys. I was wrapping up my Facebook Live, so now I'm going to wrap up this video. But thank you guys on YouTube for tuning in or for checking out this recording. I hope you guys have a great night, and hopefully I will be seeing your faces at our next meeting here as new business partners. Bye, everybody.